Hello everyone, I am very nervous and excited to show you the legacy challenge that I wrote. I wrote this because I really wanted to incorporate aspects of my own culture into The Sims. So this is a 10 generation legacy challenge and it is pretty pack heavy. If I do get a couple of requests to make a base game version, then I will definitely work on that. Without further ado, I am just going to get into the generations and everything. So this is called the Soul Food Legacy Challenge, and every generation is themed after a soul food dish. As an African American, I wanted to bring a flair of our culture into The Sims. While not every Black experience is the same, I hope that this challenge can bring in the soulful, cozy, familiar vibes that we can all relate to. And I did try really hard to incorporate actual gameplay mechanics with storytelling, because if you're entirely storytelling, it can get hard to remember the small details. So I really tried to work hard on balancing that. And I also did put in a disclaimer. I don't mean any offense by any of this. This legacy follows a lot of tropes and even some historical facts within our community. It's meant to celebrate us, not stereotype us or tear us down. I want everyone to see that our culture is deeply nuanced with a lot of strife, resilience, and power. I would also love if you would tag me if you end up posting your Sims anywhere, making videos about this challenge. I would absolutely love to see it. Welcome to the Soul Food Legacy Challenge, where everybody is invited to the cookout. Whether you're from our culture or not, you can all have a seat at the table. Go on and fix yourself a plate, but please bring your own Tupperware because the host will not be letting you take theirs home. Okay, so Generation 1 is Red Velvet Cake. Their traits are outgoing, good, and hot-headed. Their aspiration is friend of the world, and their color is red. Your parents always instilled in you the importance of human connection. Whether you're volunteering, hosting cookouts, or teaching, you are always for the community. With your boisterous mouth and your itis-inducing cooking, you quickly become the neighborhood's big mama or big papa. Even the mailman/woman knows you by name. Everyone loves you, but also knows not to mess with you. Your temper gets the best of you sometimes, but hey, you'd be upset too if your guests left dirty dishes, or if the kids going in and out of the door were letting your cold air out. So for this generation, I personally play like this whenever I start a legacy challenge. It's really good to have your own story set up. So you're already gonna have a family, you're already gonna be later in life, so you have things to bounce off of, because I feel like far too many times people make a sim that doesn't know anything, that doesn't know anybody, that doesn't have any family, and it can get kind of hard to connect with it sometimes. So I am forcing you to have a backstory, okay? So you're gonna start out in the adult life stage. You are a single parent to a teenage child. This child does not have to be the heir. There are no gender-specific rules or anything like that. And you also have another adult sibling that lives outside of your household, but they also have kids. So you will have nieces and nephews, as many as you'd like. You're gonna start in a modest home, you know, not anything too fancy. It can be run down if you want it to be, but you're already gonna have a house that's fully furnished, and something where you would feel comfortable having a lot of Sims over, because that's basically what this heir does. You start at level 3 of the education career, level 4 in cooking skill, and level 3 in charisma. And the rules for this generation is to get your nails done and redo them every time they fade away. You max the education career, max the cooking and charisma skills. You have 3 close relationships with neighborhood kids and their parents. You are going to throw 10 successful dinner parties. You're going to volunteer as often as you'd like. You'll have at least one more child, and you marry the male woman or man, or the repair woman man. Does not have to be the first one you meet. If you want to edit them, feel free, but they do have to be either a male person or a repair person. And finally, when this sim passes away, you are going to save their ghost into your households. In the Manage Households tab, you're going to save their ghost. You need them later, okay? Generation 2 is Strawberry Soda. Your claim to fame is your bubbly personality. Watching your parent fall in love later in life was the most romantic thing you've ever seen, and you admire how great of a parent that they were. You love love and the idea of it, and you're determined to raise your kids as amazingly as you were raised. It's hard to balance long nights at the bar with a social life, and you're a shameless flirt who can't seem to nail down your perfect fit. After a while, you start to realize that perfection is only skin deep. It's what's on the inside that matters most. So their traits are romantic, perfectionist, and family-oriented. Their aspiration is super parent, and their color is pink. You max the mixology skill, the juice fizzing skill, which I thought was so perfect and fitting. You max the parenting skill, sell your juices on Plopsy, and then you're going to reach level 10 in the mixology career. You have 2 failed marriages with Sims that you find very attractive, and then you fall madly in love with a Sim that you don't find attractive, and you stay married to that Sim. You're going to instill manners, responsibility, and emotional control into each of your children. And the Red Velvet generation is obsessed with their grandbabies. So every now and then, you're going to send your children to your parents' house, and they'll stay with them for a couple of days. The next generation is Oxtail. It says, sure, your parents raised you, right? And you were obviously your grandparents' favorite. They always gave you extra food. But from the moment you were born, you were a troublemaker. Like an ox, you are headstrong and stubborn. After barely graduating high school, you decide to pivot your energy into something structured, the military. It keeps you out of trouble, and you get to try food from around the world. It'll never be as good as your grandparent makes it, though. Their traits are self-assured, active, and a glutton. You're going to complete the bodybuilder aspiration, and their color is brown. So you're going to be closer to your grandparents than you are your parents. You're going to play pranks as a child and obtain a partner in crime. As a teen, you're going to break curfews, sneak out to parties, and maintain a D average in school. You're going to join the military and reach level 10, max the fitness and handiness skills, and obtain the professional slacker trait from the reward store. I really wanted to incorporate that because I feel like, me personally, I forget that the reward store exists. So I wanted to put something in here that would kind of make you use it, you know? You get stationed at least 3 times over the course of your life. So you move to a different world each time. You can move additional times if you'd like, but the minimum is 3. You make 1 enemy each time you move, go from enemies to lovers with a Sim, and you marry that Sim. Have a strict family dynamic with all of your children. You mean well, you just want them to be better than you were. Next up is Generation 4. This is fried okra. Growing up, you were taught to have a solid exterior with a tender interior. You know 2 things for sure. You're tired of moving around, and you have a strong sense of justice from seeing your parent fight for what's right. You feel like you were born to serve your community. It does run in your blood after all. You become a politician and set your sights on making the world a better place. You aren't quick to let anyone into your heart. You need to make sure you give it to someone who understands how great you are. And you absolutely cannot stand to have any messes whatsoever. So the aspiration is perfectly pristine. The traits are neat, romantically reserved, and outgoing. And the color is green. You're going to max the politician career, max the research and debate skill, max the logic skill. And you're also going to create a council, like a council board club using Get Together, with giving speeches and debating as your club activities. I personally like to do this sort of thing where I'll make a club of, you know, any given hobby, just so you have that camaraderie amongst like other people, and it'll be fun to see your cute little politician Sim like giving speeches. Sticking it to the man, you know. You have to choose wisely when you're dating, or if you're flirting with anybody, you are marrying the first person you have romantic socials with. So if it happens by accident, if someone comes up to you and they flirt with you, you have to marry them. Little added challenge there. You're going to move once when you become a young adult, but then you're never going to move again because you're tired of moving around. You're going to maintain a prestige reputation and host 5 successful charity events for your political cause. You're also going to have triplets. You can cheat for this, and you're going to dress them all in matching outfits until they're teenagers. And your house must have perfectly matching furniture. I love dressing up my twins and triplets in matching outfits. I think it's so cute, so I definitely wanted to throw that in there. Next up, we have banana pudding. Let's face it, you are the family favorite. To know you is to love you. But don't let looks deceive you. Behind that beautiful exterior is a mastermind. When you aren't baking sweet treats, you can be seen with your face buried in every nonfiction book you can find. Thousands of ideas swim around that brilliant brain of yours, and you're so inspired by all of the Black inventors that came before you. When you become a young adult, you set off to university on full scholarships. Your parents are so proud of you. All those times you almost burned the house down with your lab or the oven was finally worth it. Your aspiration is nerd brain. Traits are genius, generous, and a bookworm. Your color is light brown. You're going to max the mental skill and use the chemistry table as a child. Max the baking, logic, and rocket science skills. You're going to build a rocket ship. Attend university and graduate with honors in biology. Join the scientist career after graduation and reach level 10. Maintain a high relationship with all of your childhood friends and siblings. So any friends you make along the way, you have to maintain a really good relationship with all of them. And then you're going to obtain the incredibly friendly reward trait. Generation 6 is sweet tea. You know what people say about you. You're sweet as sugar and loved by many. Only thing is, you're in everybody's business and everyone knows it. Your parents always told you to stay out of grown folks' business as a child, but you never listened. If there's tea, get it? You are going to get it and spill it. But hey, your messiness is all in the name of journalism. When you're not hunting for the latest gossip to write about, you love dolling yourself up and hitting up the spa for some much needed zen time. You are too deep in the hustle of having multiple streams of income to be the most attentive parent. Maybe you should have spent more time in your children's business than everyone else's after all. Their traits are nosy, high maintenance, and an overachiever. Their color is purple. I was kind of running out of colors at this point, and I didn't want to make it brown because we already have a brown generation. So, you know, when tea is really dark, it could maybe sometimes pass for purple. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. And your aspiration is a self-care specialist. So you're going to give all of your friends and family like hair makeovers or like do their makeup and stuff. You're going to max the writing skill. Every time you discover a new secret, you're going to write about it and publish it. So it could be from bugging Sims, like from Strangerville, when you buy bugs and you plant them on Sims and then you blackmail them, which is one of the rules. You do have to blackmail at least 5 Sims, but you can also do it with the For Rent pack, so you can break into people's homes and obtain their secrets. So you can write about either one of those. All of those count. Once you hit becoming an actual journalist, I believe that's level 5 of the career. Whenever you do hit being a journalist, you're going to quit your job and focus on the self-care specialist aspiration. So feel free to not worry about the aspiration until you hit that point. It's totally up to you. But you're going to only make money from doing the spa day things and from your book publishings. Max the wellness skill. Like I said, you're going to plant bugs on at least 5 Sims and you're going to blackmail them. And you're only going to have 2 children that are complete opposites and they hate each other. They have to share a room their entire childhoods. Really wanted to incorporate in some way how, whether it was intentional or not, someone's mistakes can cause like some sort of generational trauma. Just because I really wanted that layer of realism. There's so much beauty, but there's also so much pain associated with our community. So I really wanted to honor both sides of that coin and like still be respectful. And I hope I achieved that. So this generation, whether they meant to or not, they are not the greatest parent. So generation 7 is Cornbread. It says, your entire life, no one could ever get you to stop singing and dancing. No matter how much your sibling made fun of you for it, you knew they were just jealous of you at the end of the day. Music runs through your veins like the many talented artists that came before you. Unfortunately, your parents instilled in you to prioritize your passions above your family. You will not stop until you see your name in lights. When you're finally at the top, you look back at your spouse and children and realize they were the most important thing to you after all. You dedicate the rest of your life to making it up to them. So the aspiration, you're going to go up to tier 3 of the world famous celebrity aspiration, but then you're going to move back in with your family. So you're not going to care about it anymore. You're going to leave it. And then you complete the big happy family aspiration. So their traits are self-absorbed, music lover, and foodie. Their color is yellow, and they maintain a sibling rivalry with the child that they grew up with. Max the piano, singing, and dancing skills. Win at least 3 karaoke competitions. Get married and have children, but you will not live with them until you are a 4-star celebrity. And then once you do hit that point, you're going to step out of the spotlight and go be with your family. But while you are famous, you are going to go to 3 celebrity parties, which is a function that I actually haven't used yet. So I'm kind of excited to see that happen. But once you are out of the spotlight and you are back with your family, you're going to go on as many vacations and outings with your family as you want, but this sim is really trying to make up for their mistakes. So I would do it pretty often. At that point, when they are back with their family, you can use the cheats, or you can get the retrait potion from the reward store and change their self-absorbed trait to family-oriented. Generation 8 is Catfish. You resented your parent for abandoning you and your family to chase their dreams, and you're shown that love must just be a slew of presents and grand gestures, in which case you're not interested. If your parents just took a closer look, they'd realize that you are not happy with material things at all. You love the small things in life, hearing the birds chirp, feeling a gentle breeze, and casting a rod on a warm summer day. You decide to leave the hustle and bustle of the city/suburbia and reside in the countryside. It's there that you come to find a love for horses and livestock. You take the troubled horses in and train them to be the best they can be. Something about their fierce defiance speaks to you, and you even discover that the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So, their traits are going to be horse lover, loves the outdoors, and non-committal. His aspiration is angling ace, and the color is blue. I said he just now. I'm probably going to make this sim a male, but please do whatever you want. Whatever you want to do is perfectly okay. I made the color for this generation blue because catfish are a sort of like grayish blue color, so I felt like I could get away with that. But the rules are to have a negative relationship with your celebrity parent, so you never really forgave them. It built up a lot of resentment, and it bleeds into what I was saying earlier about generational kind of curses. Catfish's grandparent, the sweet tea generation, is the one who kind of started this, and it kind of snowballed from there, and you're still dealing with the after effects of it in generation 8. But you have a negative relationship with your parent. You're going to move out as a young adult to Chestnut Ridge or Hempford on Bagley. Either one is perfectly okay. Max the fishing skill, the horse riding skill. Try to collect all of the fish in the collections menu. You're going to own at least one horse at all times. That's the only rule. You don't have to have a specific amount or anything. But every horse you own has to have the defiant trait, and you can cheat for this. You're going to own at least one mini goat or sheep. Max the nectar making skill. You only make grape nectar. You think it has the sweetest flavor. Teach your children how to fish. Live on a simple living lot. Optional, you can live off the grid. Could be a nice challenge, right? You're going to become a plant sim at least once, which I have not played with in literally, I think, 6 or 7 years. So I wanted to incorporate that. I think that'll be fun. And then you're going to have all of your children with the same person. You're going to decide if you want to marry them or not after the final child is born. If you don't, move them out and raise your children on your own. So this sim is non-committal, and you're going to decide basically if that sim wants to tether themselves to the parent of their children, or if they want to kind of do their own thing. That's up to you. Finally, you are going to mend your relationship with your celebrity parent when they are close to passing away. Whenever they become an elder, start mending your relationship with them. Generation 9 is mac and cheese, but I had to put Bernie in front of it. I could not help myself. I had to dedicate this generation to the wonderful Bernie Mac. If you don't know who he is, I'm revoking your black card. I'm just kidding. He is an amazing comedian. He's so funny. He did pass away, rest in peace to him, but he was such a good soul. You could just tell when you looked at him. And so his name fit into this food, and I just had to do it. I just had to. And no surprise, this sim is going to be a comedian. And I wanted to pay a really respectful nod to all of the great Black comedians, living or dead, with this generation. So I was really, really happy to put this in here. But anyway, it says, when things got hard or people were upset around you, you knew just the joke to make them laugh. Helping others forget about their problems is what makes you the happiest, and you decide to dedicate your life to just that. You are the constant in others' lives, the glue that holds everything together. You are stable, strong, dependable, and always stay true to your word. Some people might think you're a little mean or your jokes are a bit crude, but that's not true. You are just fiercely protective of your loved ones. You can clown your family all day, but you better not find out someone else messed with them. This sim is going to have the soulmate aspiration. Their traits are goofball, loyal, and mean, and their color is orange. You're going to complete the grilled cheese aspiration as a teenager. There's a hidden aspiration. and I've never done it. So I thought that would be cool. Plus it's cheese, like grilled cheese, mac and cheese, like it fits. And then you're gonna max the comedy, charisma, and mischief skills. You're gonna marry the first person you get into an official relationship with. So if you want to casually date people, that's fine, but whoever you ask to be your partner is who you're gonna marry. You're gonna have at least 4 children. Whenever they're not getting along, you step in and discipline them, and that's also another ode to Bernie Mac, because I know in his TV show he was raising quite a few kids. So, and then you're going to make a comedy club with the Get Together pack, making the activities playing pranks and performing comedy routines. And you're going to perform in lounges and bars together, you know, just around, like, you know, maybe you'll stay in Willow Creek, and then you'll go to Del Sol Valley, and then you'll go to Windenburg, you know, what have you. It's basically a makeshift comedy tour. Now, for me personally, I'm going to name the group the Kings of Comedy, because that is a group that Bernie Mac toured with. It's beautiful. It makes me happy, but of course, you know, you guys do whatever you want. And then you're going to reach level 10 of the entertainer career and the comedy branch, and you move at least twice throughout your adult life. This generation, okay. This generation, I am so proud of. I can't believe I came up with this concept. Generation 10 is chitlins or gizzards. And you know, there are so many more delicious, amazing soul food dishes out there. I could have easily picked anything else than this because of its origin in our community and what it symbolizes. I knew that I had to put this in here. Gizzards or chitlins are the cleaned and cooked intestines of a pig. If it sounds disgusting, that's because it is. But during slavery, the best cuts of the meat were reserved for the slave owners, leaving enslaved people with the leftovers. And Black people took what was meant to be discarded and transformed it. They are a symbol of resilience and a modern-day staple of soul food. Whether you love or hate them, we wouldn't have any of this delicious food if we didn't start with chitlins. I don't know about anybody else, but I know that my stepdad loved chitlins, so he would cook them fairly often. I was just a kid, so I was always annoyed because it would stink up the whole house. But honestly, I think that they are a beautiful representation of who we are as people. Every time that we're knocked down, we make the most of it. We make it into something beautiful, and we survive. We survive, and I think that is something to be very proud of. Very, very proud of. Growing up, you were always told that you have an old soul. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you feel like everything you do follows traditions that you didn't know about. You're fiercely loyal, wicked smart, and can cook without ever having looked at a recipe book. Only thing is, no one can seem to like being around you because you're so different. Showers are optional, you're always telling stories that sound like you were actually there, and late at night your family can hear you whispering to yourself. Only, you're not talking to yourself. You're talking to one of your ancestors. They tell you that their soul never got to rest because they wanted to write a book about your shared lineage, and you're the only one that can help them since you're the only one that can communicate with them. Once you're a young adult, you find a house that has reported hauntings, and you are finally free to be yourself. Your house is dirty, your trash plant garden can finally thrive, and you're never alone because you've got friends on the other side. That's a little nod to Princess and the Frog there. But yeah, I really wanted to lean into like the theme of the generation. I kind of did that throughout everything. So like sweet tea, it's shady, but she's also really sweet. Banana pudding, they're the family favorite because everyone loves banana pudding, of course. Strawberry soda has a bubbly personality, like, you know, so I tried to play into the aspects of that food. And chitlins are really smelly. So, of course, this sim is going to be a slob. Their aspiration is fabulously filthy. Their traits are slob, family-oriented, and loyal. Their colors are gray. And I did purposely repeat traits throughout this legacy challenge because us as humans, we really do take after our mothers or our grandfathers, like we take after our family. We adopt a lot of characteristics from them. So I thought it was really cool to kind of make this generation as the final generation, kind of a collection of everybody. But the rules are for all life stages, you're going to dress your sim up in old-timey clothes like suspenders, loose-fitting dresses, top hats, all that stuff. And so that red velvet ghost that I told you to keep, that is the ancestor. That's why I told you to keep their spirit around. So you're going to move them into your house when your heir becomes a child, and the ghost only interacts with the heir. So no one believes them when they say that they're talking to someone else, and this ghost becomes your best friend. If you want to, my suggestion, if you want to keep that storyline there, I would lock the door. Like, I would make like a little apartment, maybe like a little space where the ghost can fulfill all their needs and everything, and lock the door, and only the heir can enter it. So it'll definitely keep it like separate, you know what I mean? And then they move into a haunted house as a young adult with the ghost. Bonus points if it is the same exact house that you played the Red Velvet generation in. Then you're going to become a paranormal investigator and work gigs your entire life. So even when you are an elder, you're still going to work. You have a one-night stand that results in an oops baby, but outside of that, you never date again. See, the thing is, even though you're like the most important generation because you're the one that is going to write the lineage of your entire family, you're kind of off-putting. Like, people look at you and they just judge you because you're so smelly. That inspiration came from, so you're only going to have one child. Your ancestor is going to have a good relationship with that child. So this generation has some sort of special ability to communicate with ghosts, is the storyline, and maybe they pass it down to their child, so the child can also see and interact with the ghost and they become close as well. You are going to maintain friendship with 3 more ghosts, have a small trash plant garden in your backyard, and use those trash fruits to cook. So I don't know if you guys knew, but if you leave trash on the ground for too long, it turns into a trash plant and it grows trash fruit. And because your sim is a slob, they are going to use that trash fruit to cook. And you are never going to clean up yourself. If the other sims in the household does, that's perfectly okay, but you yourself, you're not going to. You're going to max the cooking and mediumship skills, and then you're going to max the writing skill and write a biography book about your family's history. So you can really just title it your family's last name. It doesn't have to be anything too deep, but you are going to write that biography book. And after you're finished with the book, your ancestor's spirit is finally able to rest, and you can release them to the netherworld. After you pass away, as a ghost, you gift the book to your child. This legacy challenge is complete once Generation 10 passes away and their child releases their spirit to the netherworld. They, along with every generation before them, did all of the hard work so you could be free and happy. The end. So there is an ending to it. There is something that you need to complete, and I was kind of hoping that something like this was motivating for you to finish it, because I know some people, a lot of us struggle with completing a legacy challenge. So if you have a goal, if your goal is to finally get this first generation spirit to be put to rest, I think that it might help you actually complete it. So that aspect of it, paired with all of the storytelling and dynamic goals that I put in within every generation, I'm hoping that helps you to complete it. So yeah, that is my legacy challenge, you guys. I'm really proud of it. It feels like it's a piece of my heart. I am really excited to play it myself. Like, I already made my heir. I'm going to make the rest of her family, and I'm going to play this. So I haven't play tested it yet. If some generations are too easy or too hard, I will adjust it as needed. But I wanted to go ahead and put it out because I'm just super, super happy about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this feast of a legacy challenge. You guys so much for watching. Please let me know if you're going to check it out. Seriously, would love that so much. This is Simsiga, where we use these Sims as soul food. Okay? I will see you guys in the next one.